Dave and Will tomorrow morning. So that is appointment listening if you're interested in hearing from him before he goes to Whyalla to meet with the Premier as well. It's time for the 3 o'clock news now, and after that, Tech Talk.
The latest local, national and international news for South Australia. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Partly cloudy this afternoon, sunny tomorrow, 29. With the 3 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. The Whyalla Steelworks has been placed into administration after dramatic intervention from the state government. GFG is no longer running the steelworks or its associated mines. Premier Peter Malinauskas says they had to act to protect both the steelworks and its creditors.
It is unacceptable for such an important, critical piece of economic infrastructure for the nation to be in a situation where its ongoing operations are so severely compromised as we believe was the case prior to today.
The Premier is heading to Whyalla later today and the Prime Minister will be there tomorrow. Independent MP Frank Pangello says it had to be done.
You could see it was a Titanic at full steam ahead going to the iceberg in broad daylight. Well, today, fortunately, the government came in and took control of the steering wheel and narrowly averted hitting that iceberg. And I think, the ship will now sail on.
President of the Whyalla Business and Tourism Executive, Malcolm McLeod, has told the ABC today's developments are welcome.
Whyalla's a 22,000 population, so there's plenty of people employed in education and health and things like that. So the economy hasn't stopped, but everything around town revolves around that steelworks, which employs the bulk of the people. It's great certainty moving forward, and the community thanks the state government and the Premier, obviously.
A hydroponic cannabis crop has been found inside a house at Croydon following a fire. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes says it broke out in a vacant home, causing minor damage to the roof.
We'll be returning to the scene today to dismantle this grow house and try to find out who's been staying there and tending to these plants. So anyone with any information, perhaps they saw people hanging around this address in Scotia Street, Croydon, who's not yet spoken to police, can they contact Crime Stoppers?
Mining magnate Clive Palmer will chair a new political party known as Trumpet of Patriots. He claims the party would eliminate waste and corruption in politics. Mr Palmer plans to spend millions of dollars to contest most seats at this year's federal election. He says the new party has been inspired by US President Donald Trump and his policies.
Very appropriate for this election because it's the Trumpet of Patriots. It's the trumpet. I'm more than happy to spend my funds on something productive, defending the right of free speech, and whatever's required to be spent, it'll be spent.
Now turning to 5AA's sport, it's day 2 of the SA Tasmania Shield match at Adelaide Oval. The home side is 3 for 161 in their second innings, an overall lead of 153 runs with 7 wickets remaining. Training today for both the Crows and Port Adelaide as both clubs continue their pre-season. Meantime, the AFL will work with clubs to bring back State of Origin as early as next year. The league is trumpeting the success of the weekend's Indigenous All-Stars match in Perth. League boss Andrew Dillon says he's not ruling anything in or out.
It'll certainly be a conversation that I'd like to have with the players and the clubs. I think there seems to be a bit of a groundswell for it. Finding the right time for it is important, but maybe that weekend that we had last there is it's sort of sitting there.
That's sport. Now checking 5AA traffic.
In Cumberland Park, be aware of emergency gasworks on Cross Road near Eaton Street, so expect some delays there. Over in Royal Park, traffic lights are out on West Lakes Boulevard near Tapley's Hill Road, so take extra care. In Burnside, there's emergency telecommunications work happening on Green Hill Road near Slape Scully Road. Look for the RAA sign at over 400 independent RAA-approved repairers across SA. You can trust them because RAA do. That's Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, partly cloudy this afternoon, sunny tomorrow 29, Friday sunny and 33, and Saturday a warm one up to 38. Right now it's 24 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
Sid Draper. He plays round one.
I don't think there's any doubt he will.
He has to play round one.
I think those odds would be shorter than a Winks or a Black Caviar.
What they do with Dan Curtin for me is going to be interesting. He was drafted early as a defender. He's been played predominantly forward. In the internal trial, he was forward.
The 5AA Sports Show.
The question for me is he wasted up there?
Weekdays from 4 p.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight in 9 News, we have full coverage of the Wireless Steelworks collapse. The Premier steps in to protect workers, families and taxpayers.
This means that GFG are no longer running the Wireless Steelworks.
Administrators move in, thousands of jobs and families' futures in the balance. Special coverage live from the Steel City.
Now at Harvey Norman, no deposit, 60 months interest-free on a Latitude Go MasterCard and participating Latitude credit cards from Latitude Financial Services. Available on eligible purchases using an equal monthly payment plan. Monthly credit card fee currently $10.95 applies. Plus receive a bonus Harvey Norman gift card when you spend $1,000 or more on interest-free purchases. Shop furniture, bedding, laptops, TVs, fridges, appliances and more. New customers must be approved. Minimum financed amount $1,000. T's and C's, credit card fees, charges and exclusions apply. Now at Harvey Norman.
Starting tomorrow, you'll be able to adopt kittens while you shop at RSPCA SA's Kidman Park Op Shop. Imagine dropping off your generous donations, all while meeting the most adorable kittens who are eager to find their forever homes. Why not make your day positively perfect by visiting them tomorrow at 322 Grange Road, Kidman Park. Come for the shopping, stay for the cuddles, and maybe even leave with a new furry friend. That's RSPCA SA's Kidman Park Op Shop. Starting tomorrow at 322 Grange Road.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family owned and operated. Because it's personal.
The Audi Open House Sale event is now on. Enjoy complimentary registration, stamp duty and CDP, plus 5 years scheduled servicing across a wide range of Audi models. Visit your preferred Audi dealer today. Ends February 28. T's and C's apply. See website for details.
Hey, if you're like me and love a good bargain, check out Star Discount Chemist. They're all about great value and helping your family stay healthy. Go in-store or online for click and collect and delivery. Star Discount Chemist. How can we help?
In Adelaide and across South Australia. This is 5AA. Always Adelaide. 5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
Good afternoon to you. It's 7 minutes past 3 here on 5AA. We are now live on the Facebook and YouTube live stream, so jump on and say hi. And we'll continue to talk about the big breaking news this afternoon that the Steelworks in Whyalla has been placed into administration. The Premier, Peter Malinauskas, made the announcement a couple of hours ago and he is on his way there now. He'll be meeting with the union, I understand. He'll be meeting with workers and creditors tonight. And then the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, will join him there tomorrow, when we're expecting to get more information about a funding package that will be announced. So there's lots happening in this space this afternoon and we'll continue to talk about it. But right now, we're going to shift gears with TikTok.
Pasco, can you turn it off and then can you turn it on again? Hey!
Richard Pascoe in the studio. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers, your technology experts. Hello, Richard.
Hello, Stacey. What a big news day.
Isn't
Lovely
it?
day outside, and the people of Whyalla should feel a bit better this afternoon.
Well, we hope so.
We do.
We absolutely hope so.
Got to be positive, Stacey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully there's some sun on the horizon for them.
Exactly right. Now, I've got a question to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Are you one of those people that puts a filter on you before you post things on social media?
No, I have been. Instagram has those those filters that you can put to, which changes the colours and the
colours are all right, but the amount of photos that I'm seeing at the moment where people go along and all their lines suddenly, not that you've got any lines, you're lovely.
What are you getting at, Richard?
You're a really lovely looking person.
Thank you.
You know, but people go along and they take every line off their face. It's like the Doris Day effect, you know, out there, that suddenly everything is fine. It's getting to be an epidemic out there for people. The reason I mentioned is I noticed there was a photo of, don't think any of them are listening to the show at the moment. If they're bad luck, don't do it. 5 people all together, and they've all put it on there. They look nothing like that photo that goes up there.
Yeah.
I think it sends a bad, you know, it's a bad influence on kids out there for them to go along and do it.
That's part of the problem with everything online, because everyone wants to make themselves and their lives look great and perfect. And what message does that send to kids? That you can be in your 30s and your 40s and you don't have any wrinkles? And
60s and 70s, and it was all gone. It was like we're trying to be 30 again.
Look, I have not been on any dating apps for a number of years, but when I was...
not at the moment, Stacey. So yes.
It was about 15 years ago, I'd say. When I was, it's bad. You look at photos of people. I remember scrolling through on Tinder and seeing photos of people and then catching up with them and going, is that you?
Yes,
you had a lot more hair and you're a lot skinnier back then. Yeah, that photo must have been a while ago. So yeah, it's catfishing.
It is.
Catfishing is one of the terms they call it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
All right. If you're a catfish, give us a call. 82230000. Or maybe you've been a victim of catfishing. You've caught up with someone and thought that is not you.
It does not look like them. I walked past one in the Adelaide Arcade yesterday. I had to do a double take because it didn't look at all like them.
Oh, so you knew the person?
I did know the person
from online.
Yeah.
Oh, awkward.
Yeah.
And you didn't say anything?
No, not at all. I'm not like that, Stacey. So yes.
No, fair enough.
Got to be nice. Got to be nice. So yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take some calls now. 82230000. Annie is in Broadview. Hi, Annie.
Hello. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Hi, Annie.
That's good. Hello, Richard. It's a serial pest here.
Oh, Annie, come on now.
I've got a question. Yep. I want to make sure that my music is, my iTunes library is saved to iCloud.
Yes.
So when I look on my phone, it looks like it's all going up there. But when I log into my iCloud account, there's no music on there.
It's a bit like Messages. It's there, but it's not. But it is.
Okay, what does that mean, Richard?
Sorry, I know that was a bit vague, wasn't it?
It was a bit vague.
So we can turn on iCloud to back up Messages, which is, I've got to say, if you've got an iPhone and you haven't got it turned on, you really should go along and make sure all your text messages are all backed up to iCloud.
Yeah, all of that stuff is. But when I log in to iCloud,
you can't see it.
I can't see music anywhere.
It's probably got to do with rights for that music, so it's about your device, but they don't want anybody trying to log on and copy that to other devices. You can log into the device and get it, but your music, you can guarantee, Annie, is backed up to iCloud.
It is?
Yep.
Because I want to try and get out of Spotify.
Good.
And
because they don't pay their artists enough.
Yeah, I want to try and get out of that and go onto the Apple Music thing.
Yes.
So I just don't want... I want to make sure that everything I've downloaded on my iTunes, which I've done over many years...
That's it. So you've got Apple Music all turned on, haven't you?
Not yet, no.
As soon as you flick the button for Apple Music, it will go in, look at all of your music, all your playlists and all of that, and it will be available.
So should Annie do that before she gets rid of Spotify?
I would be, yeah. It's a good, I'm glad you filled that part in, Annie. I'd be doing that first.
So go into Apple Music first.
That's it.
Then...
Once you're happy everything's up there, then you can go, because it will go along and say, Annie, I see you've got all these songs and all these albums, and, it'll start to work and start to sync them up there for you.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So long as you're sure about that, because seriously, if I lose my iTunes music, I will be spewing.
No doubt you would ring me, Annie, so yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so is iTunes Music the same as Apple Music?
Apple Music. It's Apple Music.
Because I remember I used to have an iTunes account, and
Yep.
you could enter in your own CDs and put your own CDs into iTunes.
You can still do that with Apple Music.
Right.
And it goes along and says, you did this CD, right? We'll make sure that all of those songs are available for you.
But isn't Apple Music the same as Spotify, where it's just a different streaming platform?
It is a streaming platform as well, but it also streams all the things that you've got on there.
Okay, so
So
Annie
it's-
can merge her
Merge it.
iTunes
Yeah.
and her Apple Music.
She can.
Okay.
Okay.
And the only way to see what she has on iTunes
Will
is
be
to turn
on
on
her-
Apple Music.
Yeah, and on her device.
Okie doke.
All right.
All right, Richard. Okay. If there's any dramas, I will hold you accountable for this.
Okay. Thanks, Annie.
We've got record of it, Annie. We've got a record of it. So
Thanks, Stacey.
good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Annie. Bye.
I can understand Annie's
yeah.
concern there.
Of course.
Remember when you used to have the packet of CDs in your car?
Yes.
And you'd flip through it like it was a photo album, and you'd get your CD out and you put your if I ever lost that, I was lost.
I've got people who've got libraries full of CDs, and they've literally gone along and put them on the computer and it creates a playlist
Yep.
on the side, and it's all done for them.
Yep. Oh, okay. If you've got a question for Richard, jump on the phone. 8223 0000 is the number to call, and we'll take some more after this.
Adelaide is in fringe mode, and you'll see the hottest shows at Gluttony. Thanks to 9 News and 5AA, you can win tickets and hospitality for you and 3 friends. Watch 9 News nightly at 6 for the daily featured show. Then listen to Breakfast with us, David and Will, 6 to 9 weekdays on 5AA. Gluttony in Rymel Park, home of the biggest shows this fringe. Tickets from gluttony.net.au.
Proudly supported by 5AA. Always Adelaide.
If you appreciate sporty handling in a compact car that puts the fun back into driving, you'll love the game-changing Corolla at Jarvis Toyota. It features a 1.8 litre fuel-efficient hybrid electric system engine, plus cutting-edge safety advancements. And every new Corolla comes standard with capped price servicing. Exhilarating Corollas are in stock and ready to go. Take a test drive today at the new Jarvis Toyota, Brighton Road, Somerton Park.
Did you know? Oztrack's at the show. Meet us at the Let's Go SA Caravan and Camping Outdoor Show, February 26th to March 1st. Come and explore our full range of off-road campers and caravans.
Oztrack Campers!
The best of the Edinburgh Fest is back, bigger and better than ever, with 3 acts for the price of one.
Went to Louisiana actually. I don't know if anybody's ever been to Louisiana, but it was difficult not to form some kind of opinion about the people I met there. That's it. That's just
Catch Andy Askins and Harry Stacchini with special guests Ollie Horn and Tim Ling from February 14 till March 23 at the Garden. Tickets from adelaidefringe.com.au.
Now at Harvey Norman, no deposit, 60 months interest free on a Latitude Go MasterCard and participating Latitude credit cards from Latitude Financial Services. Available on eligible purchases using an equal monthly payment plan. Monthly credit card fee currently $10.95 applies. Plus receive a bonus Harvey Norman gift card when you spend $1,000 or more on interest-free purchases. Shop furniture, bedding, laptops, TVs, fridges, appliances and more. New customers must be approved. Minimum financed amount $1,000. T's and C's, credit card fees, charges and exclusions apply. Now at Harvey Norman.
Lift your game with United.
Next time you need access equipment or forklifts, lift your game with United's range of hire equipment. Hire from as short as a day to as long as a year, with great rates and flexible hire options to suit your business. Scissor lifts, boom lifts, telehandlers and forklifts, all available to hire right now. Lift your game with a hire from United. Google United Equipment today.
Lift your game with United.
An overly ambitious effort at six-a-side soccer left you feeling knackered? You need a sports drink that stacks up, even when you can't stand up. Maximus is for rapid hydration during or after at least an hour of exercise.
The Australian Government's Future Made in Australia plan will create a stronger economy by making more things across our country. We'll make more of Australia's natural advantages and turn critical minerals into cleaner energy. We're investing in you to learn new skills and in manufacturing and technology to create well-paid jobs and a more secure future for everyone. That's a future made in Australia. To find out more about the plan, search Future Made in Australia. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
At 20 minutes past 3 here on 5AA, we'll continue with the big breaking news story very soon. The Whyalla Steelworks has been sent into administration and Corda Mentha has been appointed as the administrator. Very soon you're going to hear from Anne Ruston from the federal opposition. We'll see what the opposition thinks on this, and you're going to hear from the Prime Minister a lot over the next 24 hours, I suspect. He'll be on breakfast tomorrow with David and Will. He's flying to Whyalla to meet the Premier there, and we're expecting to hear more from them about a funding package to be announced. But right now, we're in the middle of Tech Talk with Richard Pascoe, Adelaide tech guy. He's here thanks to Harvey Norman Computers, your technology specialists, and he's answering your questions on 8223 0000.
Now, I had a question from a listener about their printer, why their printer didn't work. And I said that I have to come out and see you for it, and they weren't happy about that answer for it. I just want people to understand printers are a nightmare, and they're getting worse and worse, to the extent that Microsoft and Apple, within the next 2 years, are going to say, you buy a printer, you turn it on, hook it to Wi-Fi, we'll take care of everything else.
Oh, when's that?
I know, it should be within the next 2 years out there. So things that can go wrong with printers on there. You installed the software incorrectly, or you didn't install it. So you turn the printer on, why doesn't it work? Doesn't know. You left old software on the computer because people upgrade their printers sometimes. So you've got old, like say you bought an HP printer, you've put the new software on there, you've still got the old software on there, so it conflicts and doesn't do it. You haven't added the printer to Google sometimes, so in Google Chrome you've got to manually go in and add your printer into it. You haven't made it the default printer. It's got USB and Wi-Fi issues. It can be incompatible with the computer. We've got computers out there now with Qualcomm chips for AI on there. They won't print with two printer manufacturers. They'll just go, we're not doing this, for it. It's incompatible with your version of Windows now, and Windows Update broke your printer. So it's not that easy sometimes, and every IT guy is the same at the moment, going, printers are hard to go along and do.
Any recommendations on any good printers? I think I'm going to need one very soon. I'm like every other office worker out there. I don't have a printer at home because I just steal the work ink.
Oh, that's all right. Between you and me, it's fine. Epson,
don't tell anyone.
No, I'm sure the boss isn't listening. Epson Eco Tanks.
Epson Eco Tanks.
Eco Tanks. Now, they will give you enough ink to last you for the next 2 years.
Okay.
So they're all ink bottles now.
Oh, the bottles.
Which is much better for the environment, much cheaper, very cheap to run. Okay. So really do like
an easy setup. It's
very easy setup on there.
Is it a plug-in or a Wi-Fi one? Do you know?
Both.
Both. Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
Which is really good.
Sounds good. We were talking about catfishing and filters before. We have a text here from Andrew. He says a friend of mine went to meet a guy from internet dating, and the guy that turned up for the date was a different person, not just someone who looked different. It was a totally different person. It was his mate. He then went on to ask her if she'd like to continue the date anyway. There's so many things wrong with that.
There is.
I wonder if the mate knew he was using the photos in the first place.
It's not the first time we've heard of things like this.
Oh, I remember having to sometimes, some people would only post group photos as their dating profile pictures. And so you'd have to it was like a process of elimination. You basically have to be a detective if you're online dating, and you have to go through every photo and work out which was the same person, which person was in every photo, to try and work out whose dating profile it was.
And a lot of cases, because I did talk to a dating expert on my Saturday show once, your date is the one that holds the fish.
Of course, there's always a fish or a snowboarding or skiing.
We don't know why do people. You don't need to hold fishes.
No.
There.
Yeah. PSA to single men out there: no woman's ever looked at a photo of you holding a fish and gone, "Oh, I need to meet him."
That's it.
No woman ever. I can almost guarantee that.
Now, Stacey, tomorrow Apple should announce, we did talk about 2 weeks ago, but it has been slightly delayed, the new bargain iPhone, which will be coming out, which is either going to be called the iPhone SE4 or it's going to be called the 16E. So it'll be announced sometime during the night. Tim Cook announced it on X, saying it's all coming, so when I wake up in the morning, we'll know what it is. So it should sell for just over the $700 mark.
Okay, so will it have fewer features?
Yeah, the camera won't be as good as the proper iPhone 16.
Yep.
Probably the resolution on the screen won't be quite like. It'll be a bit smaller than the giant sized iPhones that you can get. But for just over $700, it's a bargain.
Yeah, well, if the camera's not that important to you and the resolution...
It'd still be a great camera.
Yeah, but, there are people out there who just want the phone to be able to call and send messages, and they don't want to have to pay nearly $2,000 for it. So this would be a good option.
Exactly right. Also for parents out there who have got kids and they give them Android phones, make sure you go along and have a look. There's some new features on Android phones out there for people that are coming down the line from Google. So you'll be able to go along, monitor where the kids are, block apps on there, know the times that they're on the phone for it.
Oh, that's good.
One of the things I really like about it is that there's a location-based one on there for it as well, but it also says how much battery they've got left.
Oh.
So if your kids go along and go, no, I couldn't ring you because the battery ran out, you go, no, well, according to the app, you still have plenty of battery on there. So
or the other way, check and say, you're running out of battery. When are you going to be home? Charge your phone.
Yep, on there.
Oh, I like that. That's really good. Apple needs to bring out something.
There is, if you turn a lot of things on the iPhones on there for parents out there, so make sure they've got parental controls and everything turned on. But the issue that parents get sometimes is the kids don't want to give the phone up to you to go along and put the controls in.
Well, isn't that just part of the deal of getting a phone?
So do it young, yeah.
Says the woman who doesn't have any children yet.
That's it. It's all coming
easier
for,
said than
it's
done.
all coming for you.
I know, I'm terrified. Okay, but that's good, being able to see where the kids are. And because there are apps for it, but you have to pay for them.
Yep.
Life, something Life.
There is. And that one does a good job. But I think on the Android side, because there are lots of people out there with Android phones, I just think it's a really good thing. The other thing I'll mention, I had a client during the week who went in to buy some new IT equipment, and they had the person behind the counter sign them up for 2 new email addresses. I'm not a big fan of that. I've got to let you know.
Why?
So they said, your current email address, we're not too sure, you're not too sure of your password, we'll sign you up for a Gmail address. No security on the Gmail address. Couldn't spell their name, for a start.
What?
If this happens to you out there, and I've dealt with this a couple of times lately, you don't need them to sign you up for another email address. Pick up your equipment, you paid for it, and then organise somebody else to go along and do all of that.
Yeah, I mean, it could sound well-meaning to someone who needs to buy something and they say, I don't have an email address. Well, let me help you set one up. But so many security issues with that.
There is. And the worst one I've heard about is 20 people standing around while they set it all up. So anybody can get the username and password.
Oh, that's horrible.
It is a horrible thing to happen for people. So, if you're going in, you're buying something, you don't need another email account on top of what you've already got.
And if you do need an email account, try and find someone else to help you set it up, not someone in the store.
Most people don't. They go, you've forgotten your password, understand that. So we don't do that part. We pick our stuff up, we go home and continue setting it up there.
Yeah, okay. All right, Richard, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Richard Pascoe, Adelaide Tech Guy there. He comes in every Wednesday to take your tech-related questions. 8223 0000 is the number to call. And after this, I'll take some of your calls about the developments in Whyalla, and you'll hear from Anne Ruston, Federal Liberal MP.
Discover the joy of family connection in the 7-seat hybrid Mazda CX-80. Now yours from a great drive-away price of $59,990 for the CX-80 G40E Pure. Enjoy 3 spacious rows, hybrid efficiency, and the reassurance of driving ANCAP's safest large SUV of